同学们好。
老师好。
Thank you. It is the 13th of March. We finished the second section last week. So what I wanted to do today is actually just spend one class reviewing the second section, just seeing if there's anything that we want to work on. It's a very juicy section. There's all sorts of things. There's three things in particular that I thought we would work on. We'll see how time goes. One is to look at the turns, because there's a couple of, the big turns are here. I'd like to look at the turn body chop from two different positions. And then we've got a couple of rollback movements, one a straight rollback, the other one parry, block and punch. And so we'll just, and anything else that you want to work on. But before we get into that, let us start with a few minutes of standing practice. So actually, since we're in review mode, we'll actually do parallel stance, bow stance, and single leg stance. We won't do empty stance today. So start feet shoulder width apart, both feet pointing forward. Find your weight even front and back, bend the knees. Again, check that you're even front and back, crotch rounded so that it's even on the inside and the outside. Start with your arms. You can keep them down low or lift them up here. So we'll do a few minutes here. The usual we'll do from the top down. So start with the head lifting up. And at the same time, feel the rest of the body sinking down from the neck on down. Feel the shoulders sinking, feel the elbows dropping. Absorb the chest and round the back. And then relax the waist, so feel the hips dropping straight down. The goal of all of these is to help us breathe freely, naturally, easily, do belly breathing. So when we say, and this month we're focusing on absorb the chest and round the back, the purpose, there are actually two purposes. One is when we absorb the chest, we allow the diaphragm to relax a bit more. So we can take deeper breaths. In Chinese, they call that the qi sinking to the dantian. But Master Yang says, look, just think about you're allowing abdominal breathing. And if we think about rounding the back, in fact, the back we round by extending the elbows outward to get a hollow feeling in the armpits. This allows us to feel that there's like a bow from elbow to elbow across the small of the back, connecting left and right. That actually helps exploding energy out from the spine. When we think about how the energy goes, it's rooted in the feet, developed in the legs, distributed through the waist, and manifests in the arms. But to get to the arms and the hands, it's got to go through the spine from the waist. So having the back slightly rounded connects the shoulders to the spine, the elbows to the shoulders, and so on. So just in the last minute, pay attention to your breathing, adjust your body again, and as you adjust your body, soften the body, open all the joints, lengthen the tendons. Feel your breath becoming smoother, and we want that same breathing if we can when we do the form, when we move. So now let's do bow stance. Open one of the feet to the corner, sink your weight onto that foot, step forward into a bow stance. Let's do a forward bow stance. Your torso is leaning forward, slightly folding at the front of the hip so that your waist is still relaxed. Elbows are dropping, shoulders are sinking. Feel the elbows extending away from the shoulders to round your back. And even though your torso is tilted forward, your head is still lifting. The crown of your head is still lifting up. Check your weight distribution on the feet. Make sure that you're nice and solid on the ball and the heel of the front foot and the back foot. So move yourself forward and back a little bit just to make sure that you're solidly rooted front and back. And soften again. Open and extend and relax. Let's change. Shift weight back. Bring the front foot in to the corner. Step out with the other one into a bow stance. Fold forward at the front of the hip so that your torso is in line with the back leg. Make sure your back leg isn't bent too much. It's straight but not locked. And again, let's think about absorbing the chest and rounding the back. Elbows extending out. Chest slightly absorbed. Feel the breath sinking into the abdomen. Feel the head lifting up. Feel everything else sinking down. Upper body is light, the lower body is sinking. And let's change. Now we'll try one leg stance. We won't do balance, so just shift into an empty stance, touching with the ball. Back leg bent, chest to the corner. You're looking straight ahead. Now straighten the back leg. Bring the toe in. You can rest with the ball of the foot or bring it in, just touch with the tip of the toe. You can stand one-legged, but I'm just going to keep my toe down because I want to focus on my posture. So that standing leg is straight but not locked. My head is extending up. Shoulders sinking, elbows dropping, absorb the chest. And feel the waist relax. And what we're trying to get here is that same feeling of easy breathing. It's probably harder here because we're working to balance. But if we feel light on top and sinking at the bottom, we'll get more stability on one leg. Let's change to the other side. I'm just spending a minute on each side. Straighten the back leg, bring the foot in, just so we get a sense. If you practice this yourself during the week, you can go as long as you like. Start with a minute, and then 2, and then 4, and then more. Make sure that your palms are about chest height, and you've got this nice round feeling. You're looking straight forward in the direction of the up leg. Feel your waist relaxed. Feel the chest absorbed. Feel the shoulders sinking down. And release. Step one foot square, other foot square. And let's just warm up the hip joints since we've not been moving them for a few minutes. So we did a couple of minutes of warm-up before we started, but let's just do a few more. So bend the knees and keep the hips in the same position, but just turn the chest so that you're warming up your waist. Side to side, nice. Try in this exercise not to have your knees move. Your knees should not be moving, just the chest. Okay, and shoulders. Whatever works for you for shoulders. And this one I like alternating the close and the far to get slightly different stretches. And then the other direction. Okay, good. And relax. So we're going to be going through we'll practice the whole of the second section. Before we do that, are there any things that you know in advance that you want to work on in the second section? Let's get them on the agenda. We'll see how we go. As you practice, since in March we're focusing on absorb the chest and round the back, I'd like, if you're not working on something else, like for example trying to figure out which movements you want to spend extra time on today, think about where absorb the chest and round the back really makes a difference in the movements that we're doing in the second section. And when you find one, check that you in fact do have your chest absorbed. Okay, so let's begin. I will just call the movements. I won't call any cues. We're at the beginning of the second section. We're in cross hands. And look, I'm getting in the same direction as you. So there's my little flag for that. And we're going to start in cross hands. Okay. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Transition to fist under elbow. Fist under elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. Two, three. Diagonal flying. Raise hands, step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left brush knee. Needle at C bottom. Fan through the back. Turn body. Chop with fist. Parry, block and punch. Step up. Grasp both tail. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3, 'Single whip. high pat on horse. Transition to right separation kick. Right separation kick. Transition to left separation kick. Left separation kick. Turn body. Left heel kick. Left brush knee. Right brush knee. Step forward, punch down. Turn body. Chop with fist. Parry, block and punch. Right heel kick. Left strike tiger. Right strike tiger. Right heel kick. Twin fists. Punching to opponent's ears. Left heel kick. Turn body. Right heel kick. Parry, block and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Closing. Back to original position. Stop. Okay. So that was the second section. You both know the second section. Were there any things in there that you wanted to work on or talk about? Yes, Rogelio.
When you do the Chengfu after, I think you do it twice in the second section, right? I don't know.
There's one after. There's one punch down, and then there's a parry, block and punch, and then there's after this punching. Yeah, there's one after the first punch down, and there's one after a parry, block and punch, I think.
Okay, in both in that movement, I remember you saying that the first movement of the left hand is like a grasp and a block out. I don't quite find myself doing it, and
great.
I don't quite get it how to actually do that grasping.
Excellent. Yeah, that's an excellent question. That's something that we should all work on. So let's say that we've done a parry, block and punch. So we're left bow stance, right hand out. So here, what we're going to do is shift weight back slightly, open the left toe and open both arms. And you can see that this left arm is going to go into this position. So yeah, so it's actually a ward off, Rogelio. You've got your palm up a bit. So you're going to go from this position to this position. So imagine, yeah. So imagine somebody is punching towards you. So you've done this, they're punching straight towards you. You're going to connect to their arm here, roll around the arm and then grab it. So it's this movement. So yes. So for example, this is the other arm, but another place where we see it, with the same arm. Imagine right at the beginning of the form, you've done grass bird's tail ward off left. Shift weight back, turn the left foot in so you can see, I'll do it from another angle in a second. But then you're going to sit your weight back and this arm is going to rotate and grab. So let me do it in this direction so you can see the movement of the left hand better. It's the same principle. So I've done grass bird's tail ward off left here. So as I sit back my weight, I imagine somebody's coming to punch. I come across. Their arm is now on top here. I then grab and pull the arm to the side. So I'm doing this. Now this arm is going to come underneath and I do ward off right. Okay? So now let's do it again from parry, block and punch. So from parry, block and punch, here, shift weight back slightly, open the left toe with body turning, rotate the left arm into this ward off here. It's a ward off. Now, as you shift your weight forward, it's going to do a grab. So it's going to turn over, step through, and ward off up. So again, so now let's just focus on the left hand. So the left, in parry, block and punch, you're starting the left hand here. You're going to ward off, open the left foot, grab and grab, so rotate and grab, step, and now lift up. So you're going to start here, open the left toe, ward off out, rotate. Okay, again, so we're starting in this position, ward off and connect, rotate and grab. Yeah, I'll give you, this is a lovely question, Rogelio, because we use this movement everywhere. So we just talked about ward off left to ward off right. Another one which is actually specific to the second section is fist under elbow. So if we're in, so I'll face you. So I'm going in this direction. So after we've sort of come around from embrace tiger, return to the mat, we've done this push out with fist under elbow. We step out. We connect with the left hand. We step around with the right as this left arm rotates and grabs, right? Now we're going to pull down with the left hand. So it ends up doing slightly different things, but it's the same method, which is you're starting here, ward off and connect, rotate and grab. And now we're going to pull all the way down and lift up. And so what we're going to try and do is to try and keep the palm and the forearm more or less in a unit as we rotate and grab. Now you'll see that when I start, I've got this curve. So there's the bend here. When I do a grab, the bend is the other way. But it's the different, you can see if I look at it from this side, there's this curve and this curve. It's not like this. It's like this or like this. So let's do that a couple more times just so that we're And we'll do the parry, block, and punch. Okay, so we're in parry, block, and punch here. Shift weight back slightly, open the left foot, rotate and ward off. Yes, now step through, heel touch, arms closed, knee bend, ward off up. When we finish, you can again see my palm and my forearm are in a line. There's a slight curve here. My palm is shoulder height and my elbow is a little bit lower. So there's a slight angle. It's not like this, and my elbow isn't horizontal either. It's just like this. Now, the other thing that I want to just highlight, it's not the question you asked, Rogelio, but it's always worth checking on this, is the right hand from this. So we've done parry, block, and punch. What does the right hand do? So as we open here, the right arm goes down, and you can see it's at this diagonal angle here. Then it opens, got this nice round arm, and it closes in as I ward off up. So what we're really doing is the left goes to the left, the right goes to the right. I sometimes think about it, it's almost like I'm stretching an elastic band here. I'm stretching, this one's going in this direction, this one's going in this direction, but they're both on the diagonal. As I do the rotate and grab, the right hand opens up and then comes underneath to do the lift and up. So it's a nice big circle. Yes, like that. Very nice. And circle in. Yes. Now, the next thing, this is a nice one to do refinement on, is as we come forward here and you rotate, make sure that you don't turn, that you don't open your shoulder. You're keeping this whole, your elbow is connected to your shoulders, connected to your spine. Your whole body is doing this arm rotation here. So as you open the left foot, as you do the grab and pull, your body is turning. Yeah, like that. Yes. And let me connect it to something else in the second section. We'll go back to fist under elbow and just remind you of something about fist under elbow that I'm sure you've heard, but this is a problem that we often have. So I'm going to step out here. I may have to change directions in a second. So from here, I'm going to connect out and I'm going to rotate my arm as I step. But what's happening is that my palm is staying in front of my chest as I rotate. I'm not opening my chest. My hand is moving through space, but it's because my whole body is turning because I'm stepping with the right foot. I'm keeping my chest absorbed and my back rounded. So let's do that fist under elbow again. So from here, so let's just say we're standing on the right foot. We've pressed out to the right. Step to the diagonal. Reach out and connect. Now, as your right foot steps, body turns, grab and rotate and grab. Then shift your weight onto the right as the left arm comes down, foot down, make a fist and lift up. Yes. Very nice. Yeah, like that. Excellent. That's a very rich question. Thank you, Rogelio.
Thank you. Great. I didn't feel I was doing a grab it, so now I think I got it.
Good. And we may come back to this because there's so much more in here. But that's a good one. Laura, did you have anything for now?
Yeah, my right arm gets lost when we change from the left heel kick to the left brush knee.
Okay.
Because it's out there somewhere. Does it just come in or does it go down and come in?
Okay, yes, excellent question. Okay, so let me just make sure that we're on the same page. So it's like after we have done, let's see, we've done the turn, we've done the left heel kick. Now we're going to go into left brush knee.
Yes.
And the question is the left arm?
What does my right hand do?
What does your right hand do? Oh, excellent question. Yes. Okay. So I've turned around, so we've done the left heel kick here. So my right arm, and I'll do this in a couple of different directions. My right arm is going to come from the back to sit in front, palm facing me. Then it's going to swing down and come back, and it's going to end up where it started. So it's essentially going to make a big circle back to where you started. And now what I want to do is, let's see, I'll turn through this direction, I think. Would this work? No, I'm going to turn to this direction. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Okay. So you're looking at it from the front. You've done the kick. The right hand is sort of, it's got to go out a little bit, but it's mostly just in the plane. It doesn't come the long way around. It just comes slightly up and down to sit here. Palm facing you, then it swings down, back to the corner, brush and push. Got it? Magic. Yeah. Yeah, and so let me just, could you move to your left a foot and just do it again? Yeah, because your hand was hidden behind something in front of your camera. So let me just watch that right hand again. I just wanted to check something. Yeah, very nice. Okay. So this is a really small thing. This is, as Nancy Loesch says, this is an easy fix. So when the hand comes to here, I want you to have it sitting facing you before you swing it down. So it comes round, sits and faces you, and then swings down. Yeah. And when you swing, nice big swing to the back corner. So swings down, out and sits, comes in and strikes. Yeah. Now, I want to connect this to, I suppose, the root movement is from white crane spreads its wings to left brush knee in the first section. So we've done, so what I want, let's just do that together. So we've done white crane spreads its wings, right arm is up here. So the first thing that we do is that we're going to rotate the palm facing backwards, and the left hand is going to sit, right? That's the same position of the right hand. Same thing. Yep. Lego blocks. It's all Lego blocks. Gotta love the Young family. They make it so easy. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the turns. There's quite a few turns in here, and I just want to review them all and sort of find the commonalities in them. So the first turn that we have is after we've done the separation kicks. So we've done, and actually this will be the front for me. We've done the left separation kick, and then we're going to turn body and do a left heel kick. Okay, so I just want to practice that turn. So, but I'm going to make it even simpler. What I want you to do is to stand on one leg, assuming that you're good with a one leg turn. If not, that's fine too. But I just want you to turn your body and then close the foot, just as much as it'll go. Turn the body first and then close the foot. Turn the body, close the foot. That's the principle. You turn the body and then close the foot into it. Now let's do it on the other foot. So this was standing on the right leg. Now we're going to stand on the left leg, and you're going to turn towards the up leg side and then just close the foot. Turn and close, turn and close, turn and close. Yeah. And don't feel you have to turn all the way. The basic method that we're learning here, the martial art method, is if you're on one leg, you started here, suddenly you've got an opponent here, you've got to turn and face them. How do you get to the direction they are? We do it on the right leg. We also do it on the left leg. So, here's a quiz time, pop quiz. Where in the second section do we turn standing on the left leg and just do a turn? Yep, exactly. Got it, Rogelio. From right heel kick, when we turn into twin fists, we're turning on the left leg. It's the same principle. The arms are slightly different, but it's the same principle. Turn the body and then turn the foot to follow. And so this is a nice little exercise that you can do if you do a minute or two every day for a while. Just try and find this balance. Now, one of the things that connects to the standing practice that we've done that I find helps me when I remember is when I'm turning, look at something far away. Because I'm worried about my balance, I tend to look at the ground because I'm worried about falling. But if I fix on something far away and keep my upper body light, it's easier to turn without losing my balance. I think that's what ballerinas do. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now let's just look at the fine tuning, which is with the arm movements are slightly different in these two. So the first one, and let's just make sure we've got the arm movements right. We've done the left heel kick. So standing on the right foot, we're going to turn the right hand palm up and turn the left arm in. Now stretch out the left leg and lead with the body, come around and finish standing on one leg. Again. So actually I'll do it in this direction for now. So you're on your right leg, turn everything to the right, open, lead with the body, come around. I'll start in this direction. So turn everything to the right, straighten the left leg, lead with the leg, come around. And if you need to, sink at the end. So the fancy show-off way of doing it, which I get like 1 times in 5, is to come around without sinking. But actually, it's perfectly fine, and in fact is closer to what the martial art application will be, to do the turn and sink. Get your empty stance before you stand up and do the kick. Because that's normally what Master Young says you would do in a free fight. You'd turn around, find out where your opponent is. So that makes it a slightly less challenging turn. Turn, yeah. And so, yes. You definitely got it. You've got it. Now, a couple of things to fine tune. What makes this work, of course, is you're turning your torso, and it's actually a turn of the hip joint. But the arms make a difference too. So one of the things I want you to pay attention to is when you finish. So let's say we are here. So I've done my left heel kick. I close, I open, I come around. You can see my left arm really doesn't change. My left arm stays roughly the same position from when I've started. So when I've done my kick and I turn my left arm into ward off, then I go around. My left arm doesn't move. My left arm is pretty much in the same place. The right arm, what you should try to do is, let's see, we're here. Yep. I'm going to turn, and you can see my right arm is just going to come levelly across. The right arm doesn't come up and down. the right arm just comes levelly across to end up behind the left. And let's see. Yes, go and keep that. Try and keep the right arm level as it comes around. Rogelio, you've got a bit of a habit that it comes up. You sort of reach for the sky as you go around. That'll take time. Yeah, like that. You got it. You got it. And then the last thing that I'll say here is for all these movements, and this is directly for the March 10 Essential, right? Absorb the chest round the back. We want to keep this openness, so we want our crossed arms to be, yeah, like that, Laura. Very nice. Not close, not hugged in. We have a tendency to hug in because we think that's going to make balance easier because we're worried about falling over. But to keep that nice rounded sinking chest shape, yeah, nice, Rogelio, nice. And then, oh yeah, very nice, Laura. And then do the kick. Yep, rock and roll. Okay, so that was the turn body left heel kick. So that was starting on the right leg. Now we'll do the one going into twin fists. And actually, it's easier if we'll just go in this direction. So we've done a left heel kick here. Oh, no, we've done a right heel kick. I'm sorry. We've done a right heel kick standing on the left leg. We're going to turn the body, the foot comes around, both arms are pointing to the corner, sink, step, and strike. So let's just practice that a couple of times. So we've done the right heel kick standing on the left leg. Turn the body, bring the arms to the corner direction, shoulder width apart, sink, rotate the arms at the bottom, strike, up. Again, so we've done the right heel kick, standing on the left leg, turn the body, foot follows, sink, rotate the arms, and come up. Yes. Yep. Let's just see how that's working out. Yep, good. So so we've talked about the footwork, and as always, we've talked about the body, and now we're just going to talk about the arms. So what I'd like you to think about with the arms, we start with the arms. We've done the right heel kick. The left arm is going to come towards the right arm. Palms are going to be up. They're going to be shoulder width apart. Then they're going to drop, and as you drop the palms, elbows come out so that you keep your chest absorbed. Then they rotate and they sit outside, and then they punch up. So just for the purposes of being clear, let's just do this together, and let's just separate these things. So we come from here, arms parallel. They drop, palms out in front of the hips, palms up, Laura, palms up, yep. Now they rotate and sit outside, and then from out to in, from down to up. Yeah, one more time. So drop the palms, elbows out, palms up in front. Rotate, sit the palms on the outside, and then strike up. And you can speed it up. It's actually easier to do quickly because you don't have to worry too much about the details. Your body will just do it for yourself. The thing to try and remember, though, as always, is the turns in our style are sort of whole arm turns. We very seldom do just a wrist thing. So when we do this rotation, it's pretty much the whole arm is rotating. It's not a localized little flip. Okay, next thing. Now, okay, so we've done this turn. So this was the heel turn. And as we discussed last week, I think, we turn on the heel when we are staying on the same leg. When we turn onto another foot, so if I'm going to go from my right foot to my left foot, I turn on the ball. Then I step. And that's the big turn, what Didi calls the wee turn. That's the one, actually after we've done twin fists, we do left heel kick. Now we're going to do turn body right heel kick. So the first thing, just to make sure we're on the same page, just make sure we know where we're aiming. So we're starting with the right foot between the front and the left. It's going to the front left corner. We're going to turn around and end up with the right foot to the back left corner. Right? So essentially we're going to start with the left foot here and going to end with the right foot in that position. Not necessarily on the floor, but you know, they're going to be at 45 degrees. And the reason, the reason is we started with a left heel kick to the side and we're going to do a right heel kick to the side. So that's why the feet are 45 degrees from the side direction. All right, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Let's just review again. Just like with the heel turn, use your body. So let's start we're not going to worry about the arms, the details for now. So I'm on my right leg. Stick out my left leg and we're going to do a 1, 2, 3 go. So 1, turn the body and then just come back. So just so that your body learns to actually turn the waist and the leg. Okay, so let's do that. So 1, come back. 2, as far as it goes, come back. Now 3, go. Go and just keep coming around. And you'll find that momentum, yeah, I love that smile. The momentum that you set up by swinging your body and your leg is what lets you come around on the ball of your foot. Yeah, like that. Now, there's details, like another one for me, it's always like keep my head up. But so let's just practice that a couple times. So just the footwork. So we're standing on the right foot, left leg behind us. So 1 and come back. 2 and come back. Now 3 and go. And stand up. When the left foot lands close to the right foot, in this case, remember it's heel touch. So you're turning on the ball of the foot, landing on the left heel, standing on the left leg, doing a heel kick. Was that a question? Yes, go ahead.
You don't land with the whole foot?
No.
You land with the heel?
Yes. So where you land, I don't think, we never land with the whole foot at once. Even in, for example, Rogelio, you're doing the weapons form, right? So even in the weapons form, when we step forward and we put the foot down, it starts with the heel and then the foot goes down. And it's quick in the weapons form. In the hand form, we tend to do it more slowly. But it's just like walking. I mean, again, if you think about walking, you don't go landing flat on your foot. It's heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. Same thing here. Now, let me just, for the sake of completeness, depending on where your left foot lands, it may be easier to touch with the ball rather than the heel. And that just depends on where it lands. So let's just talk about that. So I've done my left heel kick. I'm going to do my turn. So I go around. If I land close, I'm just going to land on my heel because that's naturally what I'm going to do. Land on the heel and kick. But let's say my opponent is really close here and I want to back away before doing the next movement. When I land, I'm going to step backwards. So let's say I want to do this. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to step backwards. You can see, to step backwards, I necessarily have to land on the ball first. I step backwards, and then I do my kick. Normally, when we demonstrate the form, the standard way of doing it is the left foot lands close to the right, and therefore the left heel touches. Okay? Good. Now let's just fine-tune the arm movements. Because we haven't talked about the arm movements. I'm pretty sure you know the arm movements, but let's be sure. So we're standing on the right leg. We've done the left heel kick. We're going to sink. Turn the left palm up and the right palm down. Left leg behind you. Turn. And then stand up and kick. And again, what we're essentially doing, wow, that was almost like a 1.5 turn, Laura. You're really getting the momentum there. What we're doing when we adjust the hands before the turn is we're getting them ready for where we want to end up. So if I do it in this direction, you can see, so I've done my kick here. I'm going to turn my left hand palm up and my right hand palm down, so that when I come around, they're just naturally in the right position. My right hand is down, it circles up. My left hand is up, it comes in front like that. So I'm just setting myself up to close like that. Yes. And just like with the turns earlier that we did in the turn body left heel kick, you're turning in to your one arm is out there, the other arm just comes around horizontally and closes. So let's do that together a few times just to lock it in. So we've done left heel kick, standing on the right leg, sink step, left hand palm up, right hand palm down, go, turn, stand up, the right arm circles down and up, heel kick. Okay, let's do it again. So we've done left heel kick, standing on the right leg, sink, left hand palm up, right hand palm down, turn, circle, the right hand down and up, and kick. Again, start from left heel kick, sink, rotate, turn, right hand comes down, circles up, and heel kick. One of the things that that we see everywhere in the form, and it's particularly common in the second section, and it's something that we often have to look at, is when let's say our right arm circles down, we short circuit it. So let's say we want this right arm to come down into a cross like this. We essentially just bring it across horizontally. Make sure there are places where we actually want it to come down and up. This is one of them. I'll talk about another one in a second. So from here, I'm going to turn. So you can see here my right arm is going to circle down and arms cross and then kick. Yes, go ahead.
You don't start closing your arms until you land with your left heel?
That's a good question. When do I start closing my arms? No, I don't think so. We'd have to check Master Young, but I believe that when I'm landed here, my knee is bent. As I stand up, I close my arms to the corner, and then I kick.
The left one also closes in.
The left one does close in. The left one doesn't close in much. It closes in some, but remember, when your arms are crossed for the kick, your chest is, you're starting off here, you're going to end up here. It's the crossed arms, let me turn to this direction. My crossed arms are in the direction of the corner. So you can see that this arm, if I'm crossing my arms, if I'm doing a kick here, let's see. Let's say I'm going to do a kick to the straight direction. My arms are crossed, so my front arm is like almost straight. It doesn't come across much, because now you may come around if you bring your chest further past square, then yeah. But I don't think it changes much. Yeah. That's right. Yes, a nice self-correction there, Rogelio. You sort of corrected the position of the cross to further down the forearm, which was exactly right. That's really nice. And yeah. And so Laura, the same thing perhaps for you is remember that when we cross, we don't cross at the wrists, we cross further down the forearms. Yeah, like that. Very nice. Okay, well, time flies. We're pretty much out of time. We didn't get to all the things, but I think these were this question that we talked about, the step forward grass bird's tail is a very important transition, and it's one that we work on throughout the form. It comes up throughout the form. And then these kicks. So remember, we always have the waist leading the limbs. We have the one leg turn, and which you can practice just doing little turns. And in fact, we have the turn and land on the other leg, and you can practice that too. Turn, turn, turn. The one thing which I would just mention that might be confusing one day when you wake up and ask yourself, are we going in the same direction? And the answer is no, because when you've done your left separation kick, you're turning in the direction of the leg. When you do the right heel kick, you're turning in the direction of the supporting leg. So they're actually in the opposite direction. Okay, any other last questions? Well done. Great practice. Thank you for joining me. Let's close here. 同学们，再见。